In this video, we're going to show you how to boot the Hiltux LiveUSB on a system that has secure boot, but we're going to go through the process of temporarily disabling that feature so that you can boot the Hiltux LiveUSB. This is an alternative way to boot the distribution if you don't want to enroll the hash. Enrolling the hash creates a persistent change on your computer, and maybe you don't want to do that. This is just an alternative way of achieving the same result. So I've got three different computers here. I've got a Lenovo laptop, I also have a Toshiba laptop, and I've got an Asus laptop. And one of the things you'll notice is that the screens look very much the same. This is the setup screen, and this is accessed by pressing a special function key when the computer is booting. Now this function key will vary by the computer make and model, so you're going to need to look this up in your computer documentation or do an internet search. The two function keys that we need to know for this process are the key that I press to get into the BIOS or setup, and then I also need to know the function key that I press to get into the boot menu. So let's take a look first at this Lenovo laptop, and you'll notice that it has a menu across the top where I use the arrow keys to access the settings beneath, and the one that I need to set on the Lenovo is I need to change this boot mode here to select legacy support. So that's going to enable me to boot up off the Hiltux LiveUSB. So I need to select legacy support and press enter. And then I'm going to go over to exit and press enter, and it's asking me, do I want to exit and save the changes? I want to say yes and press enter, and then the computer will reboot, and you'll need to at that point press the function key to bring up the boot menu, and then select the USB drive that you have built the Hiltux evaluation distribution on, or production distribution, whichever one you're wanting to use, and then the computer should boot without asking you to enroll a hash or any other modifications. So now if you want to set this back, you simply come into the computer setup and you go to the same menu option, and you say, you change the legacy support back to UEFI in this case, and it looks exactly like it did before we made any changes. So let's go over here to this Toshiba laptop. Again, looks very similar. Menu across the top, and you use the arrow keys to advance the menu, but in this particular case we're going to go to security, and we're going to disable, in this case we've already got this selected, we're going to disable secure boot, and we're going to do the same process. We're going to save that, come over to exit, and we're going to use the exit saving changes option at the top. And do you wish to do that? Yes. And once I do this, again, we're going to have our USB stick with the Hiltux image on it, and we're going to press the function key for the boot menu, and then we're going to select the USB stick to boot off of, and it should boot without any further changes. Again, if I want to revert these changes, then I'm going to come back into the same menu, boot up the computer on the Toshiba, and I'm going to come down to secure boot, and I'm going to change it back to enabled, and then go back over to exit and exit save and changes, and your computer will be back to the way it was before. So let's look at the ASUS computer. Again, looks very, very similar, but once again, the menu option to change the secure boot is in a different location. So you need to come over to security in this case and go to scroll down to where it says secure boot control, highlight that one, and then you want to say disabled. Once again, come over to save and exit, and you're going to save the changes, save the configuration and exit yes, and then you'll insert your USB stick, or you should have already inserted it at this point, and then as the computer comes up, you're going to press the key for the boot menu and select the USB stick, and the computer should boot without any further changes. Once again, to reverse the changes here, we would come over to that same option under boot, and you'll under security, and you'll enable the secure boot control, change it back, and then you'll go back over to save and exit, and you'll be back where you were before. So the computer will be back at the original settings. And hopefully this is helpful. It shows you the process on 3 different computers, slightly different procedure, but this gets you the idea, and all you need to do is figure out what kind of computer you have, figure out what the function key to find the setup menu is, and then you should be able to locate the setting to temporarily turn it off, and then enable it again once you're done. Good luck, and thank you for watching.